All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division, where we got some good news and some bad news at the same time, revolving around two of the best fighters in the world, the number one fighter in the world in my book, Terence Crawford, and Jaron Ennis, who is the IBF challenger to Terence Crawford, who is basically sitting in a position saying, look, man, if you're not going to fight me, drop that belt. Well, it appears as if Terence Crawford is not dropping any belts, despite reports out there that he was going to be dropping the IBF and the WBC belts. According to his team, that's not true. Now, we're going to talk about the effects of that, though, with the fights that actually take place in the 147-pound division. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division, where we've got good news and bad news. Good news is it appears that Terence Crawford is going to stay at the 147-pound division, or at least that he is not vacating in any of his belts. And if he is not vacating in any of those belts, then he should be staying at the weight class. Now, before I get into the details of it and its effect, though, on a certain fight that I really want to see and could not give a rat's behind whether or not some of y'all care that I want to see the fight. I want to see the fight. And that's a fight with Jaron Ennis. Wouldn't mind a Keith Thurman fight, but 147-pound division is a great weight division that still has a lot of talent in there. And Cat's got to still, just because you're the undisputed champion, doesn't mean you still don't have to defend your belts. In fact, that's the job of an undisputed champion or any other champion, is to defend your belts. Now, before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you are a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. It really does make a big difference to the channel. Thank you so much. But okay, so Bernie the Boxer. If you're not familiar with who Bernie the Boxer is a member of Terence Crawford's team. And it is funny because I used to do videos with, say, Terence Crawford's team and talk about Bernie the Boxer and what Bernie the Boxer had to say. And people would always get on me and say, oh, it's clickbait. He's not a member of the team. That's not the team. What are you doing? I'm like, man, hold on. That man is in. Anyway, fast forward to him being in the ring with Terence Crawford, doing rah-rah stuff with him, being in the ring when he's holding the belts. It's a member of his team. So I think that he is somebody that is definitely worth quoting, whose insight into what's going on in Terence Crawford's camp is better than any journalist. Okay. So anyway, he does a live stream. I don't watch the whole live stream, but the guy really does know his boxing. I will definitely tell you, make sure you guys go check out Bernie the Boxer's YouTube channel. When he does live streams, listen to them. He really does understand the sport of boxing very, very well. It's a bright guy, big team Crawford, obviously. And in the title of his video, he puts out there that Terence Crawford is not vacating any belts. Now, why is that important to say? Because there were reports out there that he was dropping the IBF and the WBC belts. And I sent notes to journalists. I sent notes to people. I was like, does anybody hear or see anything that said Terence Crawford is going to be dropping the WBC or dropping the IBF belt? I have not heard that. So now it comes out that from Bernie the Boxer that Terence Crawford is not going to be vacating belts. That is very good news. That also puts to the side what some other people have been saying about Terence Crawford and how Terence Crawford doesn't need or we shouldn't be talking about whether or not Terence Crawford will be fighting people at 147 pounds. because he's going to be the undisputed champion. He's supposed to fight people at 147. This to me is just ridiculousness going around in the sport of boxing, where you got guys that have belts that you say, well, he doesn't have to defend them against the guys that are mandatory for him. That's why people had such a problem with Vasily Lomachenko getting a franchise title and Canelo Alvarez getting a franchise title, which allowed Canelo Alvarez not to have to beat which prevented, let me put it that way, prevented Jermall Charlo from being able to be Terence Canelo Alvarez is mandatory, or likewise prevented Devin Haney from becoming the mandatory Vasily Lomachenko. But now all of a sudden, some people who had a problem with that don't have a problem with Terence Crawford not fighting a mandatory, because he's so far along in his career and his all of the things that he's accomplished. He's accomplished undisputed twice. That's a lot. That's a big deal. Devin Haney accomplished undisputed. That doesn't mean he doesn't have to fight his mandatories. Alexander Usyk, if he beat Tyson Fury, he would still have to defend it against his mandatories and top contenders. This idea that people have gotten to the point in their career where they know they're the champion in boxing, but they no longer got to fight boxers who are eligible to fight for those championships too, it's just ridiculous to me. Tyson Fury is literally saying that out in the open. I don't want to fight boxers anymore for my world boxing title. I want to fight MMA fighters for my WBC World Heavyweight Championship. What do you mean? When did this get that once you become a champion that you don't have to defend the belt? That's it. That's the finish line. This ain't the 100-meter dash. There's not once you get there, you're done. The race is over. In boxing, it just keeps going. Once you become the champion, people start asking who you're going to fight next. It's reasonable, but this is good news that he's not going to vacate his belt, because and I have said it's not promised at all that Canelo Alvarez is going to fight Terence Crawford. It's not promised at all. It's not even likely that he's going to do that. It's not promised at all that Jermall Charlo, if he beat Canelo Alvarez, is going to fight Terence Crawford. That's a wish list out there. That's no reason to say there's no guarantee that those fights are going to take place. Jermall Charlo, if he beats Canelo, is going to fight Canelo again. If Canelo beats Jermall Charlo, Canelo got a fight with David Benavidez that needs to take place, because he's not fought David Benavidez and he's fought 3 other guys at the weight class. And David Benavidez has been waiting and has been his shot. And Canelo Alvarez said that Terence Crawford really doesn't have anything to offer him. So what's he gonna do if he beats Errol Spence again? What's he gonna do? He gonna go to 154, or is he just gonna drop his belts and retire? If he's gonna retire, he gotta drop his belts because he's retiring. If he's going to stay at 147, he's got to fight the best guys at 147, whether they're mandatory fights or voluntary fights. So yes, it could be a scenario where he winds up fighting Keith Thurman first, or he fights Stanley Onus. But I'm telling you, every time he fights one of those dudes, it's going to be, and he doesn't fight Jaron Ennis, there's going to be a lot of talk about that, because Jaron Ennis is the best fighter and is the one that really, people want to see fight Terence Crawford. But anyway, I'm glad to hear that he's not going to drop his belts, that he's not vacating his title, because that says a lot about him, that he's going to keep them, and he's not just going to drop them and go away. He's not going to, I'll be champion and recess and whatever. I like that. That's a good move. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.